Thank you for joining us. Julie Farrell here with Director's Mortgage, and welcome to another episode of Between Two Loans. I've got the lovely one and only Michele Bundy here with Premier Property Group.
Yep.
And I'm curious because I know we've known one another for over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been in the real estate industry?
Over 30.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm old.
You don't look it.
Well, thank you.
So I'm surprised that it's 30 years, but I knew it was longer than 10 because when you and I first met, I was taken a bit off guard by your demeanor. And your demeanor is so strong. I just love it. And I've grown to have this huge appreciation for what you bring to the table because you just...
Craziness?
Well, you know what? It may come across that way, but you are so good at what you do. You're organized. You may come across as this gregarious person, but man, you are thoughtful and you care so much about your clients. I love hearing stories of how you've taken care of different people, the thoughtful pop buys that you do, and your people love you. I just
Thank you.
I like partnering with people that have those relationships with their clients that care about more than just the commission, that are in the industry as their industry, not just as a wave of opportunity.
Right.
So,
well, a lot of my clients say that I'm a lifer. And some of my clients, I'm working on their third generation. So I helped them buy their homes, then went down and bought their kids. Now I'm working on some grandkids. So I love my job. Everybody is a different story. So it fits my personality. It's definitely not boring in this industry.
It does. And what a testimonial to the service level you give to have people that care about their family members, have their family members use you as well. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Very
love
cool.
It. Like tonight, I'm actually going to Pietro's Pizza with two of my clients and their kids.
That's awesome. And I mean, that's very much in line with how I operate. Over the weekend, I met with some clients and we had a play date with our kiddos. And this is such a big purchase, real estate. Mortgage is such a big cost. Why wouldn't you want someone that you know, love, and trust to help guide you through this process? I mean, it's a very intimate process. You get to know these families, their needs and their wants. So Anyway, I could go on and on about that. But we're here to talk about a few different questions that we're running into with our clients, and we want to make sure that we're answering these. So I know that, Michele, you had some specific questions in regards to...
Well, I asked my clients, I was like, what do you want to know? A lot of them bought, some of them want to sell and buy. Mm-hmm. So I asked them, what's on the table for you? What's going on in your head? And then I gave them to you.
Right. And the number one question for you, same for me, is, are we on the brink of a housing bubble? Right. I get asked this daily. And it's a really important question. And there's two factors that I think everyone needs to consider. We're not likely to be in the same spot as we were in 2008 for these two reasons. One, interest rates are still at all-time lows. And two, due to strong wage inflation, first-time home buyers are able to purchase or buyers are able to upgrade due to wage increases. So the demand is still there. Cost is still low. Even though home prices are continuing to gain in value, the acceleration of that gain has slowed. And so that's what I think people are feeling right now. In 2021, all of the forecasting was that we were going to continue to see 22% gains in our area, and we're not feeling that same level of gain. So now forecasts have dropped it down to 11%. 11% year over year gains on value. That's still phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's not a bad space to be, and it creates a less frenzied environment in 2022 over 2021. So your question of, are we on the brink of a housing bubble? Supply and demand just aren't going to allow for that anytime soon.
Well, we love that.
Yeah, I think it will get much easier for buyers this year? There will be some spaces where it will, but I think we're still going to be in a short supply, high demand space for 2022.
but they're there. That's what I love about it. It drives me nuts that people, because of the media, says, oh my gosh, if I sell, I have no houses to buy. Well, guess what? You're selling your house, so someone else can move in, and guess what? Now you'll have another house to move into. Well, so it does work that way.
There's strategies that you as a veteran can employ that maybe people don't know about. So people are scared to list their home in fear that it will sell really quick, and then you'll be homeless, right? That's the fear. No, make it a long close. Make the listing, hey, you know what, buyer? I'm not closing until I find acceptable housing.
Right.
In a seller's market, you get to deploy some of these tactics that those that have been around and been through a few of these have utilized. And you've got some great strategies.
I do. My sellers never worry about, like, my real clients, I'm not going to leave them homeless. And they know that.
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing that sellers are worried about are home values. Right? Where are home values going? You were asking me about home values and sort of where I saw the forecasting go, because I don't speak to specific home values. That's your space.
Right.
But I will speak to forecasting models. And while we see a small retreat in gains in value, we're only talking about maybe 11%. So instead of 22% gains, we're looking at 11% gains. That's going to make it a little bit easier for home buyers to get in, still at low interest rates, still at price points that aren't too outlandish, because we've got higher wages coming into play.
Yep.
And we're not in the same space. During the Great Recession, we saw construction go away. We saw performance of loans completely deviate. And so the demand for pricing of homes to go down was imminent due to those two constraints.
Right.
We're not in that same space. Mortgages are performing at levels in which they've never performed in the history of keeping track of performance. Less than 3% are foreclosing on. There's no wave of new foreclosures hitting the marketplace because of all the equity gains everyone's seen. So this wave of foreclosures hitting the marketplace, I don't really see that happening. I think there will be some, but I don't think it's going to be the tsunami of volume like what we saw with default rates in 2008.
Crashed.
Exactly.
Yes, I was there for that.
I was too. I was too. The other really important question that you asked me, and I've got all of these notes, because I'm silly like that.
I know, but I love that.
Thank you.
I always say knowledge is power. That's why
it is.
I go to who has the most power and knowledge. Then you make me look smart.
Well, thanks. I enjoy talking about all of this with you. We were talking about home affordability and whether or not now is a good time to buy. I don't have to look for the question. I'm looking at all of the data that I've got right here.
Yeah.
One of my favorite forecasters is Noah Blanton from WFG. He's the president, and he's just really a smart dude. I appreciate what he has to say. And he puts it so simply: if you need housing, it's always a good time to buy.
Right.
And there's real truth to that. But we are in a rare space to where rental costs for our area are not that far off from housing expense costs.
Yeah.
And so the example that I like to give, and this is wild, you can have 0 down payment, 2 $17 an hour wage earners, which that's not too unrealistic for our home buyers these days.
Mm-hmm.
They can purchase a $420,000 home, still have a few $100s in monthly, liabilities, car loans, student loans,
right,
Visa, whatever. With 0 out of pocket, they can purchase a $425,000 home. Now that's a very modest home. You're going to be competing against a lot of offers, but I just give that example to represent home ownership doesn't have to be as far away as you think. So the number one challenges that people offer up are, I need a down payment. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
I need to get my credit right before I do this. Please talk to a credit expert like myself before you do make changes to your overall credit profile. It could be that paying off debt is detrimental to your overall application versus, you just really have to throw logic out where finance is concerned and just talk to the experts. Talk to Michele, ask her questions, and if I can be a resource, I'd love to help out too.
You are a resource. I always send them your way to say, that's a Julie question. I don't really know. But then she'll get back to me and let me know that what is answered and how we go around it. And sometimes they can't buy a home right there.
No.
But the cool thing is we could lay out a plan for them. So they actually have a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, okay, in a couple months, if we do X, Y, and Z, we can buy a house.
Yeah.
It's really exciting to go through, for me, to go from start to finish with my clients. And the finish is never a finish. Like, a lot of my clients say anything, like I always buy home warranties for my clients. And so that way afterwards, if something goes wrong with their house, guess what? They get it fixed. And it's not freaking them out. And I think that with that, it's always, they always say, Michele equals house. So they'll call me all the time like, hey, plumbing went out. Oh my gosh, do we have somebody for that? Oh yeah, guess what? I have a great referral for that.
Perfect.
So
yeah, because
anyway.
it's about the relationship. It's about continued service. I'm the same way. I want people to reach out with any questions. I don't want them struggling for an answer or waiting on hold with the wrong department. How frustrating is that, right?
Yeah.
I've got a question. I'm going to hold with my loan servicer forever only to get hung up on or maybe not get the right answer.
Right.
My clients know that they can reach out to me, and I'll place those calls with them and sit on hold, and we'll get it figured out, but we'll get the answers that they need and get them on their way.
I have no doubt.
But it is really satisfying working with someone for a while to get to that goal and to see them put in the effort, because it can't just be us wanting it, right?
Right.
It has to be effort on their part too if there is work to be done. But man, it's cool when it works out.
It always works out one way or another.
One way or another. That's right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I love you as a friend.
I love you. Okay, we're cheesy like that.
That we are. But it's true. Yeah, I have so much fun with you.
Ditto.